As engineering students, we love to absolutely shit on arts majors all the time, but there's actually one thing that we could replicate from them that could help us accelerate our career development, and that is to make our very own design portfolios. And I know for a fact that this is an absolutely powerful tool because it helped me get my very first internship within only 2 weeks of applying on the job hunt. And the craziest part is that I had zero industrial experience and zero design club experience as well. I mean that I could say hand over heart that no matter where you're at in your engineering career, you can absolutely make your own design portfolio right now with what I'm about to tell you. So this right here is an example out of my own design portfolio, which is an industrial robot arm project that I made a couple of years ago. And it was made in SolidWorks, and that's just to showcase my 3D modeling skills. So what you're gonna wanna do right now is you're gonna wanna choose which hard skill you wanna showcase in your design portfolio. And you could showcase any sort of hard skill in this portfolio, no matter which type of specialization you are. So whether you're electrical, you could maybe do some PCB design that you've done, or you could maybe showcase some control system that you made in MATLAB and Simulink. And if you're a civil student, you could maybe show some design portfolio of some structural engineering that you've done with some FEA, or you could show some civil 3D that you've done. In my case, as a mechanical engineering student, I showcase my SolidWorks skills, my 3D printing skills, and a bit of Arduino as well. So you can also include group projects that you've done in the past, but make sure you say very specifically what you did in those projects. Okay, you don't want to take credit for the entire project and then freeze up when they ask you about it because you don't know how to answer the questions of the parts that you haven't done in that project, right? So you don't want to get caught lying. Okay, so just be honest and tell them exactly the specific part that you did in that project, that group project. So now that you got your hard skill that you want to display in mind, you're gonna want to take some pictures of the work that you've done for this hard skill. So for me, it was just a bunch of different views of this industrial robot arm. I got a front view, one from the back, and a bit of a zoom in on that gripper. Okay, so take some high quality photos of it and make it presentable. Okay, make sure the photos are very presentable. And an important detail is that make sure you include the actual work only the work, not you like smiling next to it. Okay, don't make it cheesy. Okay, don't make these hiring managers hate you before you even meet them. All right, so whatever it is, make sure you take some pictures of it and make sure they're presentable. Now, for example, if you're making a sorting machine or whatever, make sure you include photos of the 3D printed parts on the maybe 3D printing bed, that you include the CAD design, that you include maybe some of the Arduino and circuiting that you've done. These sort of details is what you want to include. Now, presentation is very important in design portfolios. So for example, when you were on YouTube today, you probably clicked on the videos that had the best thumbnails, that had the best titles. Why? Because they were presentable, right? So the same thing goes here. When the hiring manager is flipping through the resumes and cover letters, they're gonna appeal to what's presentable, right? So that's where the design portfolio kicks in. You wanna make sure that your work is being showcased in a very presentable way, okay? So let me ask you, who are you hiring? The guy number one or the guy number two? Obviously number one, right? Because this is very presentable. So don't just be like number two, where you throw a bunch of images on a piece of paper and throw some random text on there with some random font. Okay, put some effort into making it visually appealing. Now, as engineers, I understand that we're not really the best at making digital designs, but you're in luck today because I actually included these templates inside of the link down below, which leads to my course. And inside of that course, you get 5 different templates to design portfolios and templates for resumes and cover letters. Now, if you're just here for the templates for the design portfolio, I also got horizontal ones like this one that you see, and I also got vertical ones. And all the templates can sort of tailor to any hard skill that you want to present. So they're very adaptable to any skill. The first important piece of text is going to be your project description. Now, your project description is just going to be a short little sentence of what the heck the project is. So in my case, I said a personal 3D CAD project inspired by the robotic arm used in industrial applications. Now, whatever you're doing, make sure you go in detail and make sure you keep it short and concise. Now, the next important piece of text is the features and the skills you used. Okay, so there was only one skill used for this, which was SolidWorks, which is pretty much just 3D modeling. And because I didn't have much other skills that I could present here or write down, I just included some features that were included in the robot arm, right? But if you use many skills for your project, for example, the sorting machine that I mentioned earlier, you're gonna wanna put as those bullet points. You used Arduino, you used C++, you used 3D printing, you used SolidWorks or AutoCAD or whatever. Okay, make sure you prioritize skills over the features. So for another example, this is another project that I've done, and it is a gearbox-driven propeller launcher that was 3D printed, and it uses the principles of fluid dynamics and gear mechanics. All right, so yeah, that's going to be the sentence for the project description. And then for the project features, I could say that I 3D printed it. I could say that I didn't include it here, but I could say that I designed it in SolidWorks, and I could say I included the principles of gears and fluid mechanics, these sort of things. So I included that in these sort of features. Another example. This is another project that I've done, which is a 3D printed gripper that also includes Arduino and C++. So that's what I wrote in this sort of project description right here. I also could have said that I use SolidWorks for it. And for the project description, as I said, very short and concise sentence. Very short and concise. Do not overcomplicate it. Okay? So, in conclusion, I just want to tell you that no matter what skill, no matter what hard skill you want to display, you can showcase it in a design portfolio. So, I want you to do right now is to click the link down in the description, get those templates, and follow the course and follow along step by step how to make your own design portfolio and how to make it visually appealing so that you can attract the hiring managers of your dream position for an internship.